also, just before we went on the air, $35,000 fine for Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle. This is straight out of the Phil Jackson playbook, right?
Oh, yes.
Where you get ejected when you know the game's over to make your point, and then make your point verbally but calmly at the podium, get fined, but still affect the change in officiating that you're looking for. Do you think that's going to work, Frank?
Yeah, a couple of things. I think you're 100% right. It reminded me of kind of the 90s with Phil Jackson and Pat Riley, all the gamesmanship, the going back and forth. I think it was smart for Rick Carlisle to do it from this standpoint. He's not going to sit there at the podium and say, you know what, Miles Turner hasn't done enough. In fact, he's been kind of soft the first two games, and Tyrese Halliburton didn't do anything in game one. So what does he do? He turns it into, we're not getting calls. And really it all goes back to the kickball violation that was incorrectly called, and then they were upset about the moving screen on Miles Turner in game one. The game, game two, the officiating wasn't bad at all. It's just that they allowed the Knicks to get back in the game. The Knicks made shots. So Rick Carlisle sitting there, and he's playing to his audience, the whole idea of they're never going to let these small market teams win. So I've been in Indiana for playoff games against the Knicks. The crowd there is incredible. He's going to have everybody fired up. He knows that they need this game. No one's ever come back from a 3-0 deficit before in the playoffs, so he's trying to get everything working in his favor. And the biggest thing is that he's going to be facing a depleted Knicks team, but I think it was money well spent by Rick Carlisle. Take the pressure off of his team a little bit, put it on the referees, and get the fans involved, ready for a Friday night in Indianapolis.
Well, if Rick Carlisle was right, then speaking as a Knicks fan, Frank, what the hell happened in the finals against Houston and San Antonio, right? I mean, I'm doing the math. I'm looking up the population centers and what San Antonio is in the market meter rating compared to New York. You know what I mean? Like Josh Hart even said that we haven't won a chip in 51 years. What's he talking about? And
I've been at playoff games in places like Portland, and Utah, Indiana,
Sacramento at the Bells.
And it definitely is a thing where the fans of these teams think the league is out to get us. The league does not want us in the finals. But of course, look at a team like San Antonio, or a franchise like San Antonio, what they've been able to do. Look at Minnesota this year, what they're doing. So Rick Carlisle knows it's not true, and I think he knew he was going to get fined. But again, I think he's just doing it to rile up his fan base because they need. I know the fans of Indiana are going to show up, and they're going to be into it. The big question is going to be, will his team rebound, and what's Tyrese Halliburton going to do?
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.